Chapter 1. The Signal from the Abyss. The vastness of space stretched endlessly before the Erebus, a sleek spacecraft gliding through the cosmic sea with purpose and precision. Inside its metallic hull, the hum of technology was a constant companion, a background symphony to the lives of those who called it home. Captain Alara Voss stood at the helm in the command center, her gaze fixed on the star-speckled void visible through the expansive viewports. It was a sight she never tired of, even after years of traversing the stars. Yet today, there was an undercurrent of tension that set her on edge. "Captain, we're receiving a signal," reported Zara Chen, the first officer, her voice steady but tinged with curiosity. She sat at her station, fingers dancing over the console as streams of data flowed across the screens. "It's originating from a black hole, colossal in size." Alara's eyes narrowed slightly. "A black hole? That's unusual. What kind of signal?" "It's intermittent, modulating across several frequencies," Zara replied. "But there's a pattern. It's almost like a message." Dr. Lysander Aldridge leaned forward, his intellectual curiosity piqued. He was a man driven by the pursuit of knowledge, his mind a repository of scientific wonders and theories. "A message from beyond the event horizon? Fascinating," he mused, adjusting his glasses with an absent-minded gesture. "The potential for discovery is immense." "Or it could be a trap," Zara countered, her pragmatic nature asserting itself. "We have no idea what's out there or what this signal truly means." "We've faced unknowns before," Alara reminded them, though her tone carried an edge of caution. She turned to Malik Grayson, the ship's chief engineer, whose expertise had seen them through countless challenges. "Malik, what are our options?" Malik scratched his chin thoughtfully, considering the technical hurdles they might face. His rugged demeanor belied a sharp mind that thrived on solving complex problems. "Approaching a black hole is risky, Captain. The gravitational forces alone could tear us apart if we're not careful. But if we can stabilize our trajectory and shield against radiation, we might get close enough to investigate." "Kale, what do you think?" Alara asked, directing her attention to Kale Seraphine, the astrophysicist whose insights often guided their path through the stars. Kale's eyes glimmered with excitement and a hint of trepidation. "The scientific implications are extraordinary. If there's an archive or some form of intelligence within or around that black hole, it could redefine our understanding of the universe. But Malik's right. We need to be cautious." The crew's varied perspectives painted a tapestry of possibilities and concerns, each thread woven with their unique experiences and motivations. Alara felt the weight of leadership bearing down on her shoulders. A familiar burden, yet one she never took lightly. As they debated, fragments of Alara's past decisions flitted through her mind like echoes in the dark recesses of memory. Choices made in the heat of exploration that had led them to both triumph and tragedy. The specter of those moments lingered, a reminder of the fine line between courage and recklessness. "We need more information," Alara decided finally, her voice firm yet contemplative. "Zara, analyze the signal further. Lysander, see if you can decipher any patterns that might give us a clue about its origin or purpose." The room buzzed with activity as they set to work, each crew member absorbed in their task. Alara watched them for a moment longer before turning back to the viewport, her mind awash with thoughts of what lay ahead. As hours passed and data poured in, Zara's analysis brought new clarity to their mystery. "The signal's structure suggests it's artificial, created by something or someone with advanced technology," she announced. Lysander nodded in agreement, his enthusiasm undimmed by the potential danger. "There's an underlying mathematical sequence here, possibly a code or language." Malik ran a hand through his hair, clearly intrigued despite himself. "If we could decode it—" Alara raised a hand to forestall further speculation. "Let's focus on understanding what we're dealing with first before we make any decisions about our next move." Yet beneath her calm exterior, Alara wrestled with an internal struggle, a conflict between her duty to explore and protect her crew and the caution that urged restraint in the face of the unknown. As they continued their work, conversations ebbed and flowed around her, a tapestry of voices that filled the command center with life and purpose. "Do you ever wonder what drives us to chase these signals?" Kale asked Lysander during a brief lull. Lysander chuckled softly. "Curiosity and ambition, mostly." the desire to know more than what's immediately apparent. "And what about you?" Kale pressed. "Do you ever question where that curiosity leads us?" Lysander paused, reflecting on his motivations with a rare moment of introspection. "Sometimes I do," he admitted quietly. "But then I think about all we've discovered, how much more there is to learn, and I can't help but feel that it's worth the risk." Their conversation mirrored Alara's own thoughts, an echo of her internal debate as she contemplated their course. With each passing hour, they drew closer to understanding the signal's secrets, and with it came both excitement and apprehension. Finally, as another shift began aboard Erebus and fatigue settled in like an unwelcome guest among them all, Alara gathered her crew once more for a meeting that would shape their journey into unknown depths. "Here's what we know so far," she began once everyone was assembled again, their faces lit by anticipation mingled with uncertainty. "The signal is artificial, possibly intelligent, and originates from within or near this colossal black hole," Zara summarized succinctly. "We've identified patterns suggesting communication or data transmission," Lysander added eagerly. "But we still don't know what it means, or why it was sent," Malik pointed out pragmatically. Alara nodded thoughtfully as she weighed their options carefully before speaking again, her decision carrying weight beyond mere words alone. "We'll proceed cautiously, gathering more information before deciding whether to approach further, but remain vigilant at all times." Her words were met by nods from those around her, a shared understanding forged through countless trials faced together over time. Yet even as they prepared for whatever lay ahead, the lingering uncertainty remained, a shadow lurking just beyond reach, a reminder that some mysteries defy easy answers, even when pursued relentlessly across vast expanses where echoes reverberate eternally into infinity itself. Chapter 2: Into the Abyss. The Erebus drifted ever closer to the immense black hole, its gravitational pull a silent siren's song, luring the ship into the maw of cosmic mystery. The ship's corridors, usually bustling with the purposeful stride of its crew, now echoed with a quieter, more contemplative energy as they approached the unknown. Dr. Isolde Mbeki, the ship's psychologist, walked through these corridors, her perceptive eyes noting subtle shifts in behavior and mood among the crew. A sense of unease had settled over them, a tension that whispered of the archive's influence even before they had reached it. She paused by a viewport, watching the swirling darkness outside, feeling its oppressive weight pressing against her thoughts. In the ship's library, an enclave of quiet contemplation amidst the technological hum, Kale Seraphine and Dr. Lysander Aldridge sat ensconced in a philosophical debate that had become their refuge from the uncertainty surrounding them. "The archive," Kale posited, his eyes alight with intellectual fervor, "represents an unparalleled opportunity to expand our understanding of the universe. Imagine the histories we could unlock, the knowledge we could preserve." Lysander nodded, yet his expression was pensive. "But at what cost? Knowledge is a double-edged sword. The more we uncover, the more we risk. Our perceptions, our reality could be altered irrevocably." Kale leaned forward, his voice earnest. "Isn't that what makes it worth pursuing? The challenge of it? To confront what we don't understand and come away changed, hopefully for the better." Their conversation trailed into silence, each lost in thought. The library's dim lighting cast long shadows across their faces, mirroring the internal conflicts that churned within them. Elsewhere on the Erebus, Captain Alara Voss found herself seeking solace in Dr. Isolde Mbecky's quarters. The room was a sanctuary of calm amidst the ship's metallic expanse, filled with soft lights and personal touches that spoke of Isolde's grounding presence. "Do you ever feel like you're being pulled in two directions at once?" Alara asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Isolde regarded her with empathy, her gaze steady and warm. "Frequently," she replied. "It's part of being human, to balance duty with personal fears and desires." Alara sighed, running a hand through her hair. "This mission, it feels different. There's so much at stake. I worry about leading them into something we can't handle." Isolde leaned back in her chair, thoughtful. "You've always led with both your heart and mind, Alara. Trust yourself to make the right choice when the time comes." Her words offered a measure of comfort, though Alara knew the weight of command was hers alone to bear. As the day wore on and systems hummed with activity, Alara called another meeting in the command center. Her crew assembled around her, their expressions a mix of anticipation and trepidation. "We're close enough now to make a decision," Alara began, her voice carrying authority tempered with resolve. "We've gathered data and debated possibilities. It's time to choose our path." Zara Chen spoke first, her tone cautious but firm. "We should proceed with extreme caution. The risks are considerable." Lysander interjected with his characteristic enthusiasm. "But the potential for discovery is too great to ignore." Melick Grayson nodded in agreement but added pragmatically, "We need to ensure our safety measures are foolproof if we decide to explore further." Kale Seraphine's eyes shone with conviction. "This could redefine everything we know about alien civilizations, if there's an archive to be found." The room fell silent as all eyes turned to Captain Alara Voss. She felt their trust and their fears intertwined with her own. "We'll explore," she decided at last, her voice steady despite the storm within her. "But we'll do so carefully. Our priority is to understand what's out there without compromising our safety." The decision made, a palpable tension eased slightly among them, a shared acceptance of their chosen path into the abyss. Yet, as they dispersed to prepare for what lay ahead, Isolde caught Alara's arm gently. "Remember," she murmured softly, "whatever happens, you're not alone in this." Alara nodded, grateful for Isolde's unwavering support, a lifeline amidst uncertainty. With each passing moment drawing them closer to their destination, the Erebus ventured boldly into realms unknown, a vessel steered by courage and curiosity alike. And as they prepared to face whatever lay beyond, each member of the crew carried within them echoes of past choices, whispers of futures yet unwritten, bound together by an unyielding quest for truth amid shadows cast by cosmic mysteries unfolding before their very eyes. The journey into the abyss had begun, with hope kindled anew amid darkness. An odyssey destined to test their limits, and perhaps reveal deeper truths than any had dared imagine. Chapter 3: The Archive Awakens. The Erebus hung in the void, a solitary sentinel perched on the edge of infinity. The black hole loomed ominously beyond the viewports, an abyssal maw that seemed to swallow light and hope alike. Inside the ship, a hushed anticipation permeated the air as the crew prepared to delve into the unknown. Captain Alara Voss stood at the command center, her eyes fixed on the swirling darkness outside. Her thoughts were a maelstrom of responsibility and curiosity, a balance she had long since learned to navigate. Around her, the crew moved with a sense of purpose, each member driven by their own motivations and fears. "Initiate the scan," Alara commanded, her voice steady despite the uncertainty that gnawed at her resolve. Zara Chen, ever the pragmatist, nodded and deftly manipulated the controls, sending out a pulse of energy towards the anomaly. As data streamed back to them, Dr. Lysander Aldridge's face lit up with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "The signal is intensifying," he noted, adjusting his glasses as he peered at the readouts. "It's as if it's responding to our presence." "It's almost like an invitation," Kale Seraphine murmured, his gaze distant as he contemplated the implications. The astrophysicist's mind was already racing ahead, envisioning possibilities that danced tantalizingly out of reach. In the engineering bay, Melick Grayson was a flurry of activity, his hands moving with practiced precision as he ensured the ship's systems were ready for whatever lay ahead. "All systems are stable, Captain," he reported over the comms. "We're ready to proceed." Alara acknowledged his words with a nod, though her attention was drawn to Dr. Isolde Mbeki, who stood quietly observing the crew. Isolde's role as psychologist was more critical than ever. She could sense the subtle shifts in morale and mindset as they approached this cosmic enigma. "Tim Turner, report to the command center," Alara announced over the intercom. Tim was a visionary leader within their ranks, someone who had always managed to inspire confidence even in the direst circumstances. Tim arrived moments later, his expression thoughtful yet determined. He exchanged a brief nod with Malik as he took his place among them. "What do we know so far?" he asked, cutting to the heart of their mission with characteristic focus. "We're on the verge of accessing what appears to be an archive," Alara explained, gesturing to the display where patterns flickered like echoes from another time. "But we need to proceed cautiously." Tim considered her words carefully before speaking. "Every step forward must be weighed against what we stand to lose," he said, his voice resonant with experience and conviction. "Our pasts, define us, but they don't have to dictate our future. His words struck a chord with Alara, reminding her of the delicate dance between exploration and caution that had marked their journey thus far. As they prepared to make contact with the archive, a strange sensation washed over them, a collective awareness that transcended individual experience. It was as if they were being drawn into a shared vision, a tapestry woven from memories not their own. In an instant, they found themselves standing amidst an alien landscape, a civilization long extinct but now alive in their minds. Towering structures reached towards a sky filled with unfamiliar constellations, while echoes of forgotten voices whispered secrets from ages past. Each crew member experienced these visions differently, filtered through the lens of their own histories and emotions. For Tim Turner, it was a confrontation with loss, the tragic memory of his parents' deaths resurfacing with vivid clarity. He saw their faces in those of the alien beings, felt their absence like a hollow ache in his chest. Nearby, Malik Grayson grappled with his own reflections, visions of technological marvels and catastrophic failures intertwined in a cautionary tale of progress unchecked by foresight. Back aboard Erebus, reality blurred at the edges as they emerged from these shared dreams. The experience left them shaken, yet strangely united, a bond forged through shared understanding of both human and alien histories. Alara struggled to maintain order amid the chaos of converging realities. She relied on Zara's analytical mind and Isolde's empathetic insight to anchor them back into coherence. "Whatever this archive is," Alara began once they had regrouped, "it's more than just information. It's a window into lives lived and lost." Zara nodded thoughtfully. "We need to determine how much influence these visions have on us, how deeply they affect our perceptions." Isolde added gently, "Understanding their impact will help us navigate our own emotions and decisions." Tim turned to Malik with renewed determination. "We can't let these visions define our actions. They should inform but not dictate." Malik agreed wholeheartedly. "Our responsibility is to learn from them without losing ourselves in their depths." Together they faced the challenge before them, a crew bound by courage and curiosity, standing at the threshold of discovery and danger alike. As Erebus continued its orbit around uncertainty itself, Alara knew that whatever lay ahead would test their limits, but she also knew that together they would find strength amid echoes whispered across galaxies. With resolve tempered by empathy, they ventured further into mystery, determined not only to uncover truths hidden within stars, but also within themselves, and perhaps emerge transformed by what they discovered along this path less traveled. The archive had awakened, and so too had their awareness of what it meant to be explorers in an ever-expanding universe, where pasts intertwined with futures yet unwritten. Fractured realities. The Erebus continued its silent dance around the black hole, a cosmic waltz that pulled the crew deeper into a reality where time and space seemed to blur. The archive's influence had seeped into every corner of the ship, an invisible presence that tugged at the edges of their consciousness. It was as if the very fabric of their understanding was being rewritten, one thread at a time. In the command center, Captain Alara Voss felt the weight of this unseen force pressing down upon her. She watched her crew with a mixture of concern and determination, aware that the decisions they made in the coming days would have far-reaching consequences. "Captain, we need to talk," Zara Chen said, her voice breaking through Alara's reverie. The first officer's expression was grave, her usual calm replaced by a rare flicker of uncertainty. "Of course, Zara," Alara replied, gesturing for her to continue. Zara hesitated for a moment before speaking. "It's about Lysander. His fascination with the archive. It's becoming an obsession. I'm worried it might cloud his judgment." Alara nodded, having noticed the same troubling signs. "His enthusiasm is infectious, but you're right, there's a fine line between curiosity and recklessness." They were interrupted by Dr. Isolde Mbeki, who entered with her characteristic grace and calm. "I've been observing similar patterns," she said, joining their conversation. "The archive's influence is profound, affecting each of us in different ways. We must remain vigilant." As they spoke, the door hissed open to reveal Dr. Lysander Aldridge himself. His eyes were alight with an intensity that bordered on fervor, his thoughts clearly consumed by the mysteries they faced. Captain Zara Isolde, he greeted them with a nod, oblivious to the conversation he had just interrupted. I've been analyzing the latest data from the archive. It's incredible, an entire history encoded in mathematical sequences. Lysander, Zara interjected gently but firmly, we need to discuss your approach. The archive is affecting us all in ways we don't fully understand. Lysander paused, taken aback by her words. I know it's overwhelming, he conceded, his enthusiasm tempered by a flicker of self-awareness. But think of what we could learn, what we could achieve. Isolde stepped in, her voice soothing yet firm. Lysander, understanding is important, but so is balance. We must ensure our pursuit of knowledge doesn't compromise our well-being. Their discussion was cut short by Malik Grayson's urgent voice crackling over the comms. Captain, we've got a problem down here in engineering. You need to see this. Alara exchanged a glance with Zara before responding. On our way, she said briskly, motioning for Lysander and Isolde to follow. In the engineering bay, Malik was bent over a console, his expression grim as he pointed to a series of readings displayed on the screen. The archive's destabilizing, he explained as they approached. There's increased energy output, fluctuations that could impact our systems if we don't address them soon. Kale Seraphine joined them, his brow furrowed with concern. If these fluctuations continue unchecked, it could affect our orbit, or worse. Alara absorbed their words with growing apprehension. The stakes were rising, and with them came the potential for disaster. Can we stabilize it? She asked Malik, her voice steady despite the tension simmering beneath the surface. We can try, Malik replied with characteristic pragmatism, but we need to act fast. Zara nodded decisively. Let's coordinate efforts. Malik and Kale can handle the technical side while Isolde and I work on keeping everyone grounded mentally. Alara agreed, grateful for her team's resilience in the face of mounting challenges. As they set to work, she felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to see them through whatever lay ahead. While Malik and Kale delved into the intricacies of stabilizing the archive's core, Isolde gathered the crew for a session aimed at fostering unity and understanding amidst their fractured realities. We're all experiencing this differently, Isolde began, her voice gentle yet resonant. But remember, we're not alone in this journey. Her words resonated deeply with Tim Turner, who found himself reflecting on his recent visions and what they meant for him personally. He shared his thoughts openly, prompting others to do the same, a cathartic exchange that reinforced their shared humanity amid alien echoes. Meanwhile, Malik and Kale worked tirelessly in engineering, each drawing on their expertise to navigate the complexities before them. We need to reroute power from non-essential systems, Malik suggested as he scanned the schematics before him. Kale nodded in agreement, already implementing the changes with swift precision. If we can regulate these energy surges, it should buy us more time. Together they labored against time, a testament to human ingenuity tempered by caution. As hours passed and fatigue threatened to set in, Alara remained vigilant, her presence a steady anchor amidst swirling uncertainties. Eventually, their combined efforts yielded results. The archive's core stabilized once more under Malik and Kale's careful guidance. A collective sigh of relief swept through Erebus, a momentary respite from tension, but Alara knew there would be more challenges ahead. Yet, even as they faced these trials together, she felt an unbreakable bond forming among them, a testament to resilience forged through shared adversity. And so they pressed on into realms unknown, guided by echoes both ancient and new, determined not only to survive but also thrive amid cosmic mysteries unfolding before their very eyes. With fractured realities now mended by unity, they ventured further into darkness, undaunted explorers seeking truth amid shadows cast across galaxies beyond. The journey continued, and with it came hope renewed by courage, an odyssey destined not only for discovery but also transformation along paths less traveled. Chapter 5: The Moral Compass. As the Erebus drifted in the shadow of the colossal black hole, a sense of urgency pervaded its corridors. The crew, having glimpsed the staggering potential and peril of the archive, now faced a decision that would define their mission and possibly their lives. Captain Alara Voss called for a meeting in the ship's central briefing room, her mind a whirlwind of conflicting responsibilities. Alara stood at the head of the table, her presence commanding yet approachable. Around her, the senior crew members took their seats, each carrying their own burdens of knowledge and doubt. Zara Chen, the ever-pragmatic first officer, sat with arms crossed, her eyes sharp and attentive. Next to her was Malik Grayson, his fingers tapping rhythmically on the table as if to mirror the pulse of the ship itself. Dr. Isolde Mbeki observed them all with her usual calm, while Kale Seraphine and Dr. Lysander Aldridge exchanged quiet words filled with scientific fervor. "We need to decide," Alara began, cutting through the tension like a blade. "The archive holds vast knowledge, but it's affecting us in ways we couldn't have anticipated. We must choose whether to preserve it or destroy it." Kale leaned forward, his voice tinged with urgency. "Preserving it is essential. This archive could contain insights into alien civilizations that we might never encounter again. It's a cultural treasure." Lysander nodded in agreement, his enthusiasm undiminished. "Imagine what we could learn about technology, philosophy, even art from a civilization so advanced it could communicate through a black hole. Destroying it would be a loss to all of humanity." Zara interjected with a measured tone. "But at what cost? We've already seen how it's destabilizing our systems and influencing our perceptions. If we can't control it, we risk losing everything." Malik added his perspective, his voice steady and practical. "I agree with Zara. The technical challenges are immense. If something goes wrong, it could jeopardize not just our mission, but our lives." Isolde listened intently before speaking, her words thoughtful and deliberate. "We must also consider the ethical implications. Preserving this archive means accepting responsibility for its influence on us and potentially others who might find it in the future." Tim Turner, who had been silent until now, cleared his throat, drawing everyone's attention. His expression was one of introspection tempered by resolve. "Perhaps there's a middle ground," he suggested. "We should focus on understanding it first, determine if there's a way to safely interact with it without letting it consume us." Alara absorbed their insights, feeling the weight of leadership pressing down on her shoulders. Each argument held merit, each perspective a thread in the complex tapestry of their mission. "Thank you all," she said finally, her voice firm despite the uncertainty within her. "This isn't an easy decision, but it's one we must make together." The room fell silent as they considered their options, the gravity of their choice hanging heavy in the air. "We'll attempt to preserve what we can," Alara decided at last, her resolve solidifying with each word, "but we'll prioritize safety above all else. Our goal is to understand without compromising ourselves or our mission." A sense of shared purpose settled over them, a unity forged through dialogue and mutual respect. As they dispersed to implement their plan, Alara lingered for a moment longer in the briefing room, her thoughts turning inward. She reflected on the path that had led them here, a journey marked by discovery and danger, shaped by choices made in the crucible of exploration. In the quiet aftermath of their decision, she found herself seeking out Isolde once more. The psychologist's quarters were a haven of tranquility amidst the ship's metallic confines. "I keep thinking about what you said," Alara admitted as she entered, her gaze meeting Isolde's steady eyes, "about balancing duty with personal fears." Isolde smiled gently, offering her a seat. "It's an ongoing process," she replied softly, "but you've done well to navigate it so far." Alara settled into the chair opposite her, grateful for Isolde's unwavering support. "I just hope we're making the right choice," she confessed, voicing the doubt that lingered beneath her resolve. Isolde regarded her with empathy and understanding. "Every choice carries risk," she acknowledged. "But remember, you have a crew who believes in you and your leadership." Alara nodded slowly, taking comfort in those words, a reminder that she wasn't alone in bearing this burden. Meanwhile, Malik and Kale worked tirelessly in engineering, each drawing on their expertise to craft a solution that would stabilize their systems while preserving key elements of the archive. "We'll need to isolate the core components," Malik explained as he reviewed their schematics with Kale by his side. Kale nodded thoughtfully before responding. "If we can create a secure interface, one that limits exposure while allowing controlled access, we might achieve our goal." Together, they labored against time, a testament to human ingenuity tempered by caution, a dance between preservation and protection guided by principles both scientific and ethical alike. Back in Command Center, Zara coordinated efforts across departments, ensuring each team understood their role within this complex operation, and reminding everyone of importance maintaining focus amid mounting pressure. As hours passed and fatigue threatened to set in, Alara remained vigilant, her presence steady anchor amidst swirling uncertainties, her mind focused on task at hand even as heart wrestled with questions unanswered. Yet even amidst challenges they faced, she felt renewed sense purpose, a determination to see them through whatever lay ahead. And so they pressed on into realms unknown, guided by echoes both ancient and new, determined not only survive but also thrive amid cosmic mysteries unfolding before very eyes. With moral compass now set course, they ventured further darkness, undaunted explorers seeking truth amid shadows cast across galaxies beyond. Chapter 6. Confronting Fate. The Erebus orbited the black hole with a tenuous grace, its hull reflecting the eerie luminescence of the cosmic abyss. The crew, having debated the fate of the archive, now faced the daunting task of implementing their plan, a delicate balance between preservation and self-preservation. Captain Alara Voss stood in the command center, her mind a whirlwind of thoughts as she prepared to lead her crew through this critical juncture. She could feel the weight of their decision pressing down on her, each choice a thread in the intricate tapestry of their mission. "All stations, report readiness," Alara commanded, her voice steady despite the tension that coiled within her. Zara Chen, ever the diligent first officer, was the first to respond. "Command systems are online and stable, Captain. We're ready when you are." In engineering, Malik Grayson worked alongside Kale Seraphine, their hands moving deftly over controls as they made final adjustments to the ship's systems. "Engineering is green across the board," Malik reported, a hint of pride in his voice. "We've isolated the core components and established a secure interface." Kale nodded in agreement, his eyes alight with a mix of excitement and caution. "We'll be able to access the archive's data without risking system overload." Dr. Isolde Becky joined them via comms from her quarters, where she monitored the crew's mental well-being. "Everyone is as prepared as they can be," she assured Alara, her voice a soothing balm over the comms. "We've discussed potential psychological impacts and coping strategies." Alara took a deep breath, feeling the collective resolve of her crew bolstering her own. "Let's proceed," she said finally, her decision echoing through the ship. As they began their operation, Tim Turner arrived at the command center, his presence a calming influence amidst the flurry of activity. He exchanged a brief nod with Alara, his expression one of quiet determination. "How are you holding up?" Tim asked, his voice low enough for only Alara to hear. She managed a small smile, grateful for his support. "As well as can be expected," she replied honestly. "It's a lot to manage." Tim placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You've got this, Alara. We all believe in you." His words buoyed her spirits, reminding her that leadership was not a solitary burden but a shared journey with those she trusted. Meanwhile, in engineering, Malik and Kale initiated the sequence to interface with the archive. The screens around them flickered to life, patterns of alien data streaming across displays like rivers of light. "Data flow is stable," Malik announced, monitoring the readings with keen eyes. "We're receiving vast amounts of information. It's incredible." Kale's fingers danced over the console as he sifted through the incoming data. "There are layers upon layers of encoded history here," he marveled. "It's like peeling back the pages of an ancient book." In the command center, Alara watched as Zara coordinated efforts across departments, ensuring everyone remained focused and informed. The room hummed with energy, a symphony of human ingenuity tempered by caution. As they delved deeper into the archive's secrets, Isolde checked in periodically with each crew member, offering guidance and support as they navigated this uncharted territory. "The visions are returning," Lysander noted during one such check-in, his voice tinged with awe and trepidation. "But they're different this time, more coherent." Isolde nodded thoughtfully. "Perhaps it's our growing familiarity with the archive that's allowing us to process these experiences more effectively." Back in engineering, Malik and Kale continued their work with unwavering focus, a testament to their shared commitment to innovation tempered by responsibility. "We need to maintain this balance," Malik reminded Kale as they monitored energy levels closely. Too much exposure could destabilize us again. Kale agreed wholeheartedly. We're walking a fine line, but it's worth it if we can preserve even part of this knowledge. Together they labored against time, a dance between preservation and protection, guided by principles both scientific and ethical alike. As hours passed and fatigue threatened to set in, Alara remained vigilant, her presence a steady anchor amidst swirling uncertainties. Her mind focused on the task at hand, even as her heart wrestled with questions unanswered. Yet, even amidst the challenges they faced, she felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to see them through whatever lay ahead. In a poignant exchange with Isolde later that day, Alara found herself reflecting on leadership and sacrifice, the choices that defined both her past and present. "You once told me to trust myself," Alara began softly as they sat together in Isolde's quarters, a sanctuary amidst the ship's metallic confines. Isolde smiled gently, her gaze warm and reassuring. "And I still believe that," she replied. "You've led us this far with courage and wisdom." Alara nodded slowly, grateful for Isolde's unwavering support, a lifeline amidst uncertainty. Meanwhile, Tim's conversation with Malik underscored their shared commitment to innovation, tempered by responsibility, a reminder that progress must be balanced with foresight. "We can't lose sight of what's important," Tim remarked thoughtfully as he joined Malik in engineering, a place where science met art in pursuit of understanding. Malik nodded, his expression one of resolve tempered by caution. "Agreed, we must ensure our actions today don't compromise tomorrow's possibilities." Together they forged ahead, undaunted explorers seeking truth amid shadows cast across galaxies beyond. As Erebus continued its orbit around uncertainty itself, Alara knew that whatever lay ahead would test their limits, but she also knew that together they would find strength amid echoes whispered across time. With moral compass now set course, they ventured further into darkness, undaunted explorers seeking truth amid shadows cast across galaxies beyond. The journey continued, and with it came hope renewed by courage, an odyssey destined not only for discovery, but also transformation along paths less traveled. Chapter 7. Echoes Across Galaxies. The Erebus sailed away from the colossal black hole, its mission accomplished, but the echoes of its journey resonating in the hearts and minds of its crew. The vast void of space stretched endlessly ahead, a reminder of both the isolation of their voyage and the infinite possibilities that lay beyond. Captain Alara Voss stood at the helm of the command center, her gaze fixed on the distant stars. The tension that had gripped her throughout their mission now released its hold, leaving behind a profound sense of relief mingled with reflection. The decision to preserve the archive, tempered by caution and collaboration, had tested her leadership in ways she hadn't anticipated. "We did it," Zara Chen remarked, her voice carrying a note of satisfaction as she joined Alara at the viewport. "We navigated through one of the most challenging missions we've ever faced." Alara nodded, acknowledging her first officer's words with a faint smile. "And we came out stronger for it," she replied, her tone filled with quiet pride. "Each of us contributed to this success. Our strengths, our perspectives. It was a true team effort." Their conversation was interrupted by Malik Grayson, who arrived with a datapad in hand. "Captain, I've compiled a preliminary report on the archive's data," he announced, his eyes alight with accomplishment. "It's a treasure trove of information. Histories, technologies, philosophies. We've only scratched the surface." Kale Seraphine joined them, his expression one of boundless curiosity tempered by respect for the unknown. "The implications are staggering," he added. "This knowledge could redefine our understanding of the universe." Alara listened to their insights, feeling a deep appreciation for their dedication and expertise. The archive's preservation was a testament to their shared resolve, a legacy they would carry forward into future explorations. As they continued to discuss their findings, Tim Turner entered the command center. His presence exuded a calm confidence, his role as a guiding force within the crew reaffirmed by their recent experiences. "How are you feeling about everything?" Tim asked Alara, his voice low and thoughtful. She considered his question carefully before responding. "Proud," she admitted, her gaze meeting his with sincerity. "Proud of what we've accomplished together, and hopeful for what lies ahead." Tim nodded, understanding the weight of her words. "We've learned a lot about ourselves on this journey," he observed. About our capacity for growth and resilience. Their conversation was a moment of shared reflection, a pause amidst the vastness of space where they could acknowledge both their triumphs and trials. Meanwhile, Dr. Isolde Mbeki convened with Lysander Aldridge in her quarters, a sanctuary where they could explore the psychological impacts of their mission. The visions have subsided, Lysander noted, his voice tinged with relief. But they've left an indelible mark on how I perceive reality. Isolde regarded him with empathy and insight. Our experiences shape us in ways we often don't realize, she replied gently. The archive offered us a glimpse into lives beyond our own, a perspective that can enrich our understanding if we let it. Lysander nodded thoughtfully, appreciating Isolde's wisdom as he considered the personal growth he'd undergone during their journey. Elsewhere on the Erebus, Malik and Kale worked together to catalog and analyze the archive's data, each drawing on their expertise to unlock its secrets while ensuring its safe integration into human knowledge. We need to approach this with care, Malik reminded Kale as they sifted through streams of information displayed before them. Kale agreed wholeheartedly. Preservation without understanding is meaningless, he replied. We must ensure future generations can learn from these discoveries without repeating past mistakes. Their collaboration was a testament to the balance between innovation and responsibility, a guiding principle that had seen them through their mission and would continue to shape their path forward. As days passed aboard Erebus, conversations flowed freely among crew members, each sharing reflections on personal growth and aspirations for future endeavors. In private moments, Alara found herself contemplating not only what they'd achieved but also what lay ahead, a journey marked by courage, curiosity, and unwavering commitment to truth amid uncertainty. And so they pressed on into realms unknown, undaunted explorers seeking new horizons guided by echoes both ancient and new, a testament to humanity's enduring quest for knowledge amidst cosmic mysteries unfolding before very eyes. With renewed purpose and hope kindled anew, they ventured further into darkness undeterred, determined not only survive but also thrive amid challenges yet unseen. The journey continued, and with it came promise of discovery, transformation along paths less traveled, an odyssey destined to reveal deeper truths than any dared imagine. As Erebus departed from Abyss, leaving behind Echo's ancient civilization, it carried within its hull legacy, forged through courage, collaboration, compassion, a beacon light, shining brightly across galaxies beyond.